I'll ask Dr. Pickard. While we affirm the sufficiency of Scripture, what weight, if any, should we give to history/tradition? It seems many evangelicals completely ignore it, and then Rome overemphasizes its importance.
Yeah, that's a great question. In fact, if you go and read Charles Hodge, I think he's actually a great example of how we understand tradition. And I think maybe behind the question is we, as Reformed Christians, like to talk about Sola Scriptura, which is right and good. But as it's often been said, in the modern context, Sola Scriptura often becomes Solo Scriptura, which means all I need is my Bible, which leads us in a very individualistic and biblicist direction. It's actually what the old Princeton theologians were trying to hedge off when they talked about the place for reason and logic in general revelation, is they were countering some in their own day who said all we need is the Bible, and in fact there's a verse for every single thing. So I think the question is absolutely right. I think where the Roman Catholic Church goes too far is they make tradition on par with Scripture, or really in practice trumping Scripture at many times. But I think what the old Princeton theologian, what we'd want to say is as Reformed Christians, we're not anti-tradition, but we want to keep it a small t tradition. The right way to do theology is to join the great conversation of the church and to think with the church. And we would be foolish to sit down and do it on our own. But yet at the end of the day, we want our theology to be exegetically driven. And so we're not beholden to tradition if we think someone has gotten it wrong. And I think that really is the big difference. The ultimate authority is Scripture, but not me with Scripture by myself. Me with Scripture thinking with the church, coming to exegetical conclusions. But again, giving Scripture, not tradition, even equal with the final authority.